Tuesday morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast. I'm Veronica Dan Ikboy. Joining me this morning is Ibrahim Shita. Ibrahim, it's a good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to you as well. So many issues that we will be looking at this morning, especially the matter of Super Eagles that will form part of our conversation. And then we're also looking at the happenings within PDP, how it is that the House is divided against itself and it's seeming like it cannot stand. And then there's also the matter of infertility. There is the need to have such conversations, especially for many persons who do not know what's going on with their bodies. And then we're also going to look at the matter of the jet fuel that the minister, the aviation minister, as well as that of petroleum, is also going to launch a depot, one of the largest that we have ever had. And we'll be having that conversation as well this morning. But let's begin with the story where Nigeria has once again experienced a nationwide blackout following the collapse of its national grid system. Electricity distribution companies across the country said the grid collapsed around 6:48 p.m., resulting in the loss of power supply across their networks. This marks the sixth time this is happening in 2024. According to them, they are currently working with various partners and promise for speedy restoration of the grid. And I think that the grid has been restored from my end because before I left for work this morning, power was restored.
Okay.
But I would say that as for yesterday, the light went off before 6:48 p.m. has been recorded. So I don't know whether the collapse happened at varying times for different locations. Yeah. But it's a sad one that we are still having this kind of situation, despite all of the efforts being made, so to speak, by the ministry to perhaps make that sector viable, vibrant, efficient, whichever word or adjective we want to use to describe it, because that's the essence for the increase in tariff. But there are those who would say that all of the structures in place, because at some point, even the minister complained that the structure in place are quite old and some needs some form of revamping and change. When that will happen, we do not know, because of this kind of collapse, it's not funny anymore.
Okay, so, well, first and foremost, every one of us, realizes that there's an improvement in the supply of power, especially those on band A. I think you're on band A. That's why
I'm not on band A.
As how come you were able to see that the power had been restored this morning?
Because
I asked someone specifically who stays on band
A. So maybe I don't know what band I'm on.
There was no power this morning. But the thing is, there's actually improvement in the supply of power, or electricity. But the fact that we're now having national grid collapsing again, for the sixth time this year, it's really not, leaves a sour taste to the mouth. But it's very important that they do the right thing. They get to, because we heard about Siemens, we heard about revamping of the power infrastructure, because we need this sector to be viral, to be very, very strong.
Absolutely.
Because, so that the economy and then the development of this country will be faster, other than having to slow down some of those developments and some of those things that we need to put together. Because if you look at the SMEs, is one thing they relied on. If you look at even the big companies, that's what they rely on. So they have to just do what is proper.
Most people cannot afford diesel as it is, because some persons have to fall back on diesel.
Yeah.
And also perhaps they're generating sets despite the increase in the price of fuel. And some just left it. You know what? There's no light. The weather is cold. Just sleep like that. You'll be fine and whatever. But it's important that as much as possible, we must ensure as a government that the grid works.
And we can't take
electricity works.
Yeah.
Every section, be it transmission, be it distribution, be it generation, are functioning optimally. Nigerians are relying on this.
Proper security is also very needed, because we can't take away the impact of those who
vandals.
Whenever they come around, is that they try to steal some, some of the parts of it, some of the elements of it, and some would just definitely want to cause problem because they have something sinister in mind against the nation. So I feel it's a holistic thing that it just needs to bring on board to be able to resolve this.
The infrastructure is a critical issue that has to be addressed as quickly as possible. Like someone said, there's no longer low-hanging fruits. We must address the root of every issue, not the hanging fruits right now. Let's go to the fruit, because we often talk about the low-hanging fruits, but at the end of the day, we still find ourselves grappling with these issues. But as it is, we must go to the root, and if we know that the root is the infrastructure, how do we begin to look at addressing it? Because if you are collecting tariff and Nigerians are not seeing the efficiency for what they are paying for, they begin to ask questions. They begin to, challenge the essence for the tariff in the first place.
And everybody is expected to be, migrated to Band A. So is this what we're having, where we now have everyone on Band A? It's good.
Yeah, it has to be a gradual
but
move.
we'll get there.
We'll get there.
It's a one step at a time, but then very soon, according to what they said, now every one of us will be migrated to Band A. And I think it's a good thing, because at that time they expect that the more we have on Band A,
so if we have that plan, then we should also have the plans to ensure that the structure we need to ensure efficiency
stands solidly.
is solid as it is, so that there will be no issues and no excuses as much as possible.